Okay, I'd like to welcome all of you to another one of our co-founder Zoom calls. We do this every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have a feeling there's going to be more people coming in, but we're going to get started right on time here. Today is very, very exciting. The what's on the agenda today for today's call, it's going to blow your mind. So, today we're going to talk about money. Specifically, we're going to talk about the nature of money, and it has a name. A lot of times we use the name of the nature of money interchangeably with money. We call it currency, right? That sound familiar, guys? Currency, money. A lot of times
Yes.
when we're talking about currency, we're really referring to the nature of money. And a lot of people don't realize that that's what's happening. So, why do we call it currency? Why we use that term? Anybody can answer that. Who would like to answer that question? Why do we refer to money as currency? Why do we do that? Any ideas? When you think about currency, what comes to mind?
It's current exchange for products.
Okay.
uh, Goods and services.
Okay. Anybody else?
Getting a thought here. Let me see here.
Ricardo, go
Something,
ahead.
something, for example, it could be current right now, but it could change.
Okay.
So value of money can change.
Right.
The dollar can
I've
decrease.
turned on the TV in the bedroom already.
Okay. So let's shorten the word now from currency down to current. So when you think of current, what are you thinking about? What comes to mind when you think about current?
Electricity.
Some people think electricity,
Value.
Current value.
Right now,
like time, the time of something, the current time, the current value. You're valuing something in a time, the current of time. Okay. Anything else come to mind when you think of current? What's the most obvious?
Water.
Water. Finally, we arrived. That's where I'm going. Okay. So when you think of water and you think of current, do you think of things like a river,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever why they call banks banks? Because currency is flowing into the bank, like water flows into a river bank. You guys ever heard that
Right.
before? Okay.
And out of our
Mhm.
accounts.
In and out, right? Because it's a flow, right? And then if you dam water in a river, right, it holds back water, right, from flowing more, right? And isn't it interesting that when we hear the word dam, we also liken that to like the soul, right? If you damn a soul, it's going to go to hell, right? You ever thought about that?
Never.
If
No.
you know, if you're not damned, you have salvation, right? But if the soul's damned, it goes to hell. That makes sense, guys? So
Yes.
damning things may not be necessarily a good thing in that sense. Okay. So same thing with water and same thing with money, right? So today, so many of you, I think, are damned. And
No.
I want to break you free. Do you guys want to break free from being damned when it comes to money?
Sure.
You want
Yes.
more
Very
flow?
much
Yes.
so. Very much so.
You
Yes.
want some more flow? Okay. Then you got to open up the dam. Okay. All right, because that's what it is. It's currency for a reason. So, and you want to get in the flow of it, and really, you're the main thing that determines whether you have flow or it's being dammed. You are at the center point there. It's really your choice. So, and that's at an individual level. And I have a very special guest speaker I've invited to be a part of our call today. And many of you know her. She is well known among our community. And for those that don't know her, well, you're in for a treat. But she's going to open up her back office and show you that she's not among the damned. Okay, she has great flow, and she's employing a strategy that's above the $111 strategy. Is taking a $111 strategy to the next level, and it's very exciting. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to invite Leslie Way to unmute and say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Ace. Thank you for that really great introduction.
It's good to know you're not damned, right? So
yeah, I know most of you. I don't know all of you. I don't know the new people. But anyway, Ace built me up to be way bigger than I really am. I'm just like one of you.
That's true.
But
In the sense that whatever you're doing, everyone could do, right?
true, very true. So it's pretty simple, really. Ace named this strategy the elite strategy. It's an elite strategy. Like he says, it's above and beyond the $111 strategy that he has shown us all to do that works very well. And we call it the payback until strategy. So it all started, of course, when we reopened. I think it was mid-November, and we got rolling again. And then we were all starting up in the $1 and the $10 pool. Excuse me. And then Ace got us so excited and pumped about the $100 pool when it was coming. And my team was just like pushing for it. They're like, we got to get going in this $100 pool. We're so excited. But all of a sudden we were like dead in our tracks, because how do we do that? We are all just getting going again in the $1 and the $10 pool. We can't do this. So Ace actually planted the seed. He had mentioned at one point about doing a payback. So it started with him. And I think some of you are already doing this in the $10 pool, I believe, maybe even the $1, I'm not sure. But it was my brother and I, he's my sponsor. We got together and we started discussing how can we make this possible, because we don't want to stifle people. They're excited. They want to roll with this, and we want this to take off. So let's see what we can do. So we actually had a person that was able to start the $100 pool right away, join and start all 3 pools, be in the $100 pool, and not need to be paid back. They had the means to be in the pool and go for it. And when we started doing the math, we went kind of up and down our line, above us and below us, and we could see that it only takes one person that can do this, and you can actually pay back your whole team and get everyone into the $100 pool. So it was, we didn't even know if it was going to work. So we went for it. We told everybody our strategy. I will say that it takes a lot of organization with your team. You have to have a really good close communication. And there's criteria to be met, which I think is very important. For us, we say that you have to first be in the $1 pool and the $10 pool to be eligible to be in the $100 pool, because it's a very special gift. That one person it's an angel, really, an angel gifting back. And because it's a special gift, you have to meet that criteria. And then we say it's a payback until, because ultimately you don't want that to go on for too long. So really, it would be up to you how you decide to organize that within your team. If you wanted to do this, you could go all the way to 90 days, because at the 90-day point, they're going to start having it rolling back from its 90-day of staking into their MetaMask wallet. And by then, after 90 days, let's hope it's gone up a great deal. So there's going to be a lot of flow so that they can start making the payments. But as Ace always says, 90 days is too long. We got to start sooner than that, or stop paying back sooner than that.
Right. So let me,
So-
you mind if I interrupt you for a moment to kind of,
No, please do.
let's cover a couple of details here that you mentioned. You rolled a lot of information out there. So
Yeah.
let's break a few parts of it out and talk about it. Let's talk about the angel first. So,
Okay.
an angel is either going to be one of two things. Okay. It's either going to be someone that already currently has means outside of pool funding that they have no problem that they can make a daily payment in the pool that you're talking about. In this case, we talk about the $100 pool. So someone that has the means to come up with, say, $3,000 out of their own pocket, no problem. They got the means to do it. That's one version of an angel. Okay. And but probably the most common version of an angel that you're going to see, that's going to basically kind of, anchor in the whole team so that you have continuous flow here. It could be the person that builds a team that is, committed to making the starter pool payments, maybe $11 a day for each one. And if you have 8 or 9 of those people paying you $11 every day, then that puts you in a point where you could justify paying $100 on top of that because you got the flow coming in from the 8 or 9 people. So it's the whole save and scale strategy, right? So every one of you
Absolutely.
can save and
Yeah.
scale up. But the beautiful part about the angel aspect of this is that it doesn't take all of you being angels. It just takes an angel to basically ignite the entire chain, right? So anything above an angel, it will then justify the ability that everyone above that angel can then get into the flow of making the $100 payment every day. Okay. But you have to have it's a coordinated effort, which is what Leslie's talking about, where
Right.
you're receiving, but you're sending back to help a person to continue every day, right? But what's
Yeah.
supporting it, because it's not coming out of your pocket, it's the flow. Okay, you're literally having flow, money flowing, right? And even though you're not, trying to capture it yet, you build the flow, so you got the energy coming from the flow to create faster expansion for the team, right? And it excites the team. It makes it even more exciting, and the elite strategy. And without all that excitement, people tend to, be more outgoing in sharing our message and our opportunity. And that's how the team can grow even faster. So this actually creates faster growth by doing this.
Yes, it does.
I think documentation beats conversation, as I say many times. So how
Okay.
about you share your screen, Leslie? Let's take a look at your account, your $100 pool account there. Let's take a look at what's been
Alrighty.
going on in
Let's-
the last month or so.
Okay, can you guys see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so you can see it's 34 days because I've sent 3,400.
Yep.
And I currently have 8 referrals. That's one brand new one today, actually. So this was based mainly off of 7. And in USDT, I've received 21,900 in just a month, really.
Yeah.
And so
Let's just pause. Let's not jump
Yeah.
too fast because
okay.
these
Okay.
num- this one number, I want people to resonate here. Okay. You need to feel it. Feel the power. $21,900 in 34 days. Feel it. Just take a deep breath. Every one of you that's on the call right now, feel it. Imagine yourself having $21,900 coming into your hands. Feel that flow. Okay. Feels good, doesn't it, Leslie?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic on many levels. I mean, seeing those numbers is incredible. But working with my whole team is what's even more magical, to be honest with you, because like you were saying, when a new person starts, it's a huge incentive. I get to offer this special package to them, and then they can come in right from the get-go into all 3 pools, and they have this wonderful feeling of being part of the team as a whole. Like they jumped right in, they're fully in. you can feel it. I can sense it. And then they can take that. They get to offer this to their new people, this same thing. And I mean, pool funding is already amazing. You're never going to find anything like it out there. It ticks every box. We know that. And so we already have the confidence to share this with people because it does tick every box. And a lot of us have been in things before that have been, a lot less than. And so now we can go out there with confidence. But what I just have really noticed that doing it this way, the team really works well together. I don't know if any of you have heard of Wire. It's an app, WIRE. And I like it because it's very secure. It's just easy to use, very secure. You can form groups. And so every single new person I put them into the group and we communicate that way. And we talk daily, all day long. It works very, very well. Of course, you can see in your if you just look at your histories and you can see the date, you can see that the person has paid. My team knows that I pay back. We kind of set times. It doesn't matter when you make your payment. That's another thing. The payback is between you and the person paying you. It doesn't matter. You don't have to coordinate the whole team when it comes to that portion of it. They just pay like they normally would within their 8-hour window. And my team knows that I pay back at a certain time of the day, and they all do their payments around that time. And if for the ones that make them payments later in the evening, if they miss it, they know I'm going to pay them again in the next morning before they have to make their payment. So
can we use someone as an example here? So who was your first
Sure.
one that you made this arrangement with? What was their username?
It was probably Brett.
Okay, Brett. So can we find Brett on that list there in your go to your transaction history?
Yeah, he's right here. Northern
Okay.
Boy.
The Northern Boys Brett. So go to transaction history. Okay. So let's see, Northern Boy. So there we go. On the 15th, at 9:45. No, I take that back. At 6.
Where are you looking? Are you looking right here?
On the 6th. Okay, I'm sorry. I was
16th.
on the 16th at 6:14. That was the last payment from Brett, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then go down further to the 15th. You gotta go to the next page. On the 15th, Northern Boy made his payment at 7:27 a.m. Right? And so on. But that was possible because you, in the meantime, sent back $100 to him, not 111, right? But $100 to him.
$100.
'Cause-
Absolutely.
'cause-
So
Because the agreement on this elite strategy is that you come up with $11 every day, and then you'll send back the 100. But they're making a payment of 111 every day, but you're sending
Right.
back 100 so they can accumulate PFS coins in their account, that mature for 90 days. So
correct.
there's that benefit, but they also
I
have
was just
something
gonna
that they
say-
can show people. They can
Yes.
show that they're in the $100 pool, right?
That's right. So that's super exciting, by the way. That adds a lot of excitement to this whole thing, is that they can actually see that they're accumulating PFS coin in their account, in their back office here in the pool funding side of things. And they watch it accumulate, and that really excites them because they can see it going up. And they know that it's a bonus. They're getting it for free. They're literally paying $11 a day and getting $111 worth of the 3 coins. So that's
right.
huge.
And so we call this the payback and tell strategy, is another way of referring to it, the payback and tell. And it's not that we want everyone to wait 90 days, because that's a disservice to the sponsor and the community, and also by duplication a disservice to your referrals. In fact,
Right.
the best thing to do is it's understood that as soon as they're able to duplicate this with another angel of their own down the line, then they no longer need you to pay it back. They no longer can shift from the receiving side of this offer over to the offering side of the offer. Okay, so
Exactly.
you don't have to have they don't have to have a big team themselves. They just need to have an angel down the line from themselves, right?
Right.
And then it justifies for them to move over, right? And
Absolutely.
and there
Yes.
could be a little bit of give and take. You could be one or two angels, right? So as soon as you have one or two angels on your own team, then you can start to play the offering role, and then you start to accumulate. But let me just show you how this is impacting one angel in this specific case. I believe the angel is sending to David, and that gives
Yeah.
David the ability to send to you, and then of course you're offering all this all the way down, even on other legs. Okay,
Yep.
right? It gives you the power
Right.
to offer it all the way down to every leg below you, and right now you got currently as of today. You got 8 of those legs now. So they're all, it kind of just spins it all off. And the idea is that each one of these legs started because each one made took it, did the $111 strategy. So they came up with their own money, the 111 originally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they come up with 111 originally out of their own pocket to get started. And then you're just sending back 100 of it to them. So they could continue making that payment because it's not a big deal for you. It's just a little bit of your time, but it's really creating flow here. But if we go above David, that would take us up to Ken, okay, who's with us on the call today. And then from above Ken would take us up to Ray. And then above Ray would be Lisa, who's also on the call today. And then Lisa is directly connected with me. Okay. So, and just to be an example of what I'm talking about here, I actually send back money to Lisa every day. So I'm waiting for her to get another angel herself, another one or two angels to anchor this for her so that she's got cash flow. But right now this is really benefiting Lisa at this point. This current situation is financially benefiting Lisa today. But as soon as one of these people, one of the 8 referrals you have here, Leslie, is able to also duplicate by having either themselves or someone down the line from themselves. It could be 10 people down. It doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter.
The
That's right.
strategy works. It could be 100 people down. But
Yeah.
when someone down there, either through means of their own outside of pool funding or through building a team of 8 or 9 personal referrals, paying them $11 every day, acquires the means through team building. In either case, that they become an angel on the team, right? And then that can really anchor an entire chain of people all the way up to me, right? Being at the very top.
Absolutely. And the way I look at it is if I didn't offer this, I'm very, very fortunate. It's wonderful that I can offer this, but if I wasn't and I wasn't offering this, it's no different than me offering it. So I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying it very well, is if everyone was just in the $1 and the $10 pool, and that's what we were doing, and we were all striving and working towards what, the common goal, that's great. But the fact that I can do this, I don't mind paying it back because it's causing a lot faster growth. And I love helping people. Everyone is benefiting from this. So I'm not, it isn't staying in my wallet right now. We know that the $100 is not staying in there. I'm paying everyone back, but we're doing it together. We're doing it as a team and we're growing together. And then all at once, we're going to reap the rewards. Because if you look at the numbers, in 30 days of this, you have $3,000 worth of PFS coin in your wallet.
Yes. And I'm going to come back to that in a second there.
Okay.
But I do want to highlight that these current 8 referrals that you have, let's say all of them follow through with their own angels on their own teams, or they themselves become angels, right? Through team building. But as each one of those, say, mature into that role, right? Of being able to, basically let you keep the $100 that they're sending to you instead of you sending it back to them. Okay. When that happens, that would be $800 a day, Leslie.
Right. Minus my 100 that I'm paying to my sponsor.
Okay, so
700.
So 700 in positive cash flow. What is that? What is that times 30? I mean, if we do the math in our head, 30 days times 700 positive cash flow would be
200
21,000 per month, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be really tough, but you're going to somehow have to cut back, Leslie, and only manage to live on $21,000 a month. Can
I
you
know. And you want to
do it?
hear it even gets better? I'm Canadian, so that's about 30,000 for me
30,000 in
a month.
Canadian dollars, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, soon to be 40,000 in Canadian dollars the way things are
I
going.
know.
But hey, good thing Trudeau's gone, so maybe things can get better.
Good thing.
Anyway, so that's one aspect. Okay, so the cash flow could be significant. I want you all to take a deep breath and just picture yourself getting $21,000 a month into your own, into your own account where it's money free and clear. You can use it for anything you want in your life. How would that impact the way you feel about life? How would that impact, what you would be doing in your life? Would it change what you eat? Would it change where you live? Would it change what you drive? Would you travel more? These are the kind of things. Would you be able to help more people out? All these people that need help that are all around you, would you feel like you're in a better position to help them financially? So all of these things that motivate us can happen if we have the flow. And you're not going to stop at 8 referrals, are you, Leslie? You're going to keep on growing your referral base?
Well, to be honest, I think Paul, we talked about this one time. I think because Paul's around 10 and we were talking that, this is already going to be a lot like mega millions if we do the math all the way through.
It is for
And
sure.
so to be honest with you, I really want to help my team. And so I was thinking when I hit 10, I'm going to start giving them to my team.
Okay, well, do it carefully, because you can,
Yeah.
you don't want to spoil any particular people because, it depends on who you're going to help out, right? So if they receive it properly,
Exactly.
that's fine.
Absolutely.
But I've seen so many cases where people just think it's just a good strategy, and then they find out that the people that they're helping out don't even appreciate it, and then you get in that situation.
Well, yes, you're
Now
right.
you're
No,
hurting 2 people instead of 1. But
but
anyway,
I
that's it.
will give a shout out to my team. They're very, very appreciative. I love them all.
There you
They're
go.
amazing, and they're all working very hard, and they're bringing people in. They're getting their own referrals, and
Excellent.
they are offering the same strategy to the people that they bring in.
In fact, your team is experiencing, growth, especially your personal 8 referrals. You got one that's really new, but the other ones have been with you for a while. They're sharing this. They're having
They are.
team growth. They're not completely dependent on, leads done for you or paid signups or whatever, or even the AI. They actually are, happy to say, hey, I got something I want to show you. They can show people, look what's going on here. Now, I know if we look at the PFS holdings there, it says $0 value, but that's just, currently, it's not really technically a bug, but it's basically a situation with how the software tabulates value compared to liquidity. But that's, set that aside. We want to look better at the number here. Now, Leslie, you know what the target is for the target price for PFS coins?
Yes, 2, right? 2 million.
2 million. Okay. So can you open up a calculator? I'll just round this number to 14%. So you got 14% of a PFS coin. Just open up a regular calculator. Can you share that? Open up a calculator.
Sure. I sure
So
can.
realize the holdings is creating wealth and the funds received is the cash flow, right? So you got cash flow and wealth creation happening here, right here on your account.
Right, exactly.
So you finding a calculator?
Yeah, can't you see it?
No.
It's right in front of you guys on the screen.
Maybe stop sharing and then share your screen again, and maybe we'll be able to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, your pool funding screen is up right now.
Yeah, we're still.
Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go. I thought it was going to be in the same.
Now
same
we can see it.
window.
So,
Okay.
So type in 2 million.
Okay, 2.
That's where PFS is
million.
going very soon.
2 million.
All right, times that by 14% or 0.14. All right, so look at the wealth.
80.
So on the one hand, $21,000 of monthly cash flow, and on the other hand, you're creating wealth over here of just that you're currently at the first month, you've accumulated really a value of about $280,000 of wealth,
Right.
right? Accumulating wealth. And the idea is let that continue to accumulate into the millions upon millions and tens of millions, because it's really the cash flow you build your lifestyle on, not the wealth. Okay.
Exactly.
We don't want to have reasons to sell. We want to have reasons to live. Okay. So cash flow to live and wealth creation just for, ultimately for the peace of mind of it all. That's a good illustration. I'm very interested in input from the people listening to this strategy. I really prefer calling it the pay it back and tell strategy instead of the elite strategy. Let's call it the pay it back and tell
Pay
strategy.
it back and tell.
Yeah,
Sure.
pay it back and tell. And it shouldn't take 90 days. It should be it should be more like a couple of weeks, because you don't want to hold up your sponsor and you don't want your referrals holding you up, right? So, if we want things to flow, people got to get their angels lined up. Okay. So work hard to get your angels lined up. And just before we invite someone to talk to you, Leslie, you share your own experience about what are you doing to make this happen? Because it's not just automatic, right? You are actually,
No, definitely not.
you're applying what I call passion. How does that passion show up?
Passion for sure. Yes. Well, I wake up in the morning super excited, ready to jump out of bed and pounce. But I was actually telling Ace this earlier that, each and every person that I've brought into the team, I spend a lot of time with them. And I think that's important. I have very lengthy phone calls, Zoom calls, and I'm talking an hour to 2 hours every time, until they know and understand everything. I invite them to, of course, all the opportunity calls. I send them videos. And then, like I said, getting back to my wire group with my team, I have, I create not videos. I use Karen's videos. Thank you so much, Karen. I love it. And of course, Hunter is helping me every step of the way. But I create things for them all the time that they can use. Like I just did an email. I wrote up an email to send to new people with everything that the new person should learn and go through to understand it. And I did a point form, like I did the bonus plan in point form notes so that they could at a glance look at it and share it and understand it. So I do a lot of that. And then a good example is, I think you might remember me telling you before Christmas, she might hear this and think this is funny. I was at a Christmas market with my husband and not thinking about pool funding. It was just a day to enjoy. And I ran into a young girl at the market, and she was selling clothes in a little boutique. And I was looking at the clothes, and somehow our conversation got onto that she's a starving student and really needs to figure out a way to make more money. And she heard that my husband and I are retired, and she wanted to know what we were doing. And I always drop the crypto word. I don't know, the crypto word seems to get a lot of people. And she said, I wish I understood crypto. I hear it's going great. I'd like to know a lot about it. One thing led to another. She gave me her email. I sent her a very quick email that I drafted up. More to do with crypto. That was like my hook. And then she reached out again. I just left it with her, and I thought, she's young, I'm probably not going to hear from her. She reached back to me and she said that she loves everything. She was trying to get her head around the videos I sent her, trying to understand it, but super busy with school and doesn't know if she could do this without my help. I said, I'm totally here for you. I will help you, but I think I have something that is to do with crypto and even some AI. And I kind of explained that to her. It might be more for you, because I knew all along I was going to lead into pool funding. I just had to make it work. I had to wait till it was right for her. And so we got through Christmas and she reached back out to me. I didn't think I'd hear from her again. And she asked if I'd meet her for coffee. She happens to live a couple of hours away from me. So yesterday I drove for a half an hour, which is no big deal, but I drove and I met her for a couple of hours for coffee, and I went over the whole pool funding with her, and she's super excited and she's definitely going to get involved. And it was right near the end when she understood it all. She said to me, how did she word it? She said something like, do I have to start in one pool or can I be in all of them? And I said, oh, isn't that interesting that you asked me this? And I said, you can be in as many as you want. And she said, but I have no money because I'm a student and I'm working off my student loan. And I said, well, I have a super special elite strategy for you that's only for special people. And I told her about it and she was so excited. And I know that if I hadn't offered her that, she probably would have said she can't do it. But anyway, so she's going to be coming in soon and she's probably going to be listening to this. That's just one example.
Exactly.
And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, here's the things that we need to highlight about that story. And the fact is that, you know, you weren't waiting for the phone to ring, right? In just living your daily life, just your normal routine, you're bumping into people, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's opportunities when you bump into people to talk about pool funding, right? And you know, and then you can share contact information and then follow up, right? And Fortune's always made it a follow up, by the way. So that cup of coffee was very valuable, right? So that you had coffee with her.
Mhm.
You know, so the little bit you spend on coffee is going to pay off in huge returns down the road here, because you took the time. You took the time to drive to the coffee shop. It wasn't in town, right? You had to go out of town to meet with her.
Right. I did. Yeah.
So you took the time to do that. You sat down with her, the time to talk to her, time to follow up with her, time to sign her up. You know, and so I want people to understand that we're working inside of a larger construct here. I like to call that larger strong construct the universe. Okay. And so if what we're doing is not appealing to the universe, then the results are not going to be desirable. Okay. But if we can appeal to the greater good of what the universe is all about, if we can appeal to that, the universe can be very, very generous in rewarding us for any time, effort, energy, and passion. Okay, I want to underline that word because pool funding should be a passion. If you make it a passion, you're just excited to talk to anybody, any chance you get about it, right? And you don't have to wait for the phone to ring. You don't have to wait for someone to just come in as a lead done for you. You know, it should be at the tip of your tongue as a passion. Okay. And that prepares you so that when those leads done for you or when AI delivers, that passion is then tuned, right? Imagine, you know, an old piano that's been out of tune for decades, how bad it sounds, right? When you're talking to people that are coming in through the, you know, through the leagues done for you and the paid signups and all that we're using AI and all that, you know, they come in that way, and then you're the one that's all messed up. You're all out of tune because you're not. There's no passion, right? Another way to look at it, you got scales. Okay, look at scales, and the universe is going to scale you. Okay, so if all your contribution is because you have the mentality of getting as much as you can, I'm going to go back to damning yourself. Here's how a damned soul looks at the world. I want as much as I can get, but I don't want to give anything back. I don't want to put anything in, right? I want to put the rock bottom minimum. I'm going to put as little as I can in, and I'm going to keep anything that I get from that. I'm going to just hold on to it. In other words, there's no flow, there's no currency, right? And the universe is all about currency. Okay, it's flow. So because you're damning yourself with that mindset, you're just putting a tiny feather on the scale, right? What do you think you're going to get back from the universe? Okay. What are you going to get back? Not much. Okay. Because you have held back your passion. You have held back your enthusiasm. What's the last couple of letters in enthusiasm? What does that stand for? ISM, enthusiasm. I'm sold myself. ISM. If you're not sold, then you're partially blind, first of all, and secondly, you're lacking passion. Okay, you've got to get passionate about this so that in either case, whether you're finding people on your own or they're coming in through the paid signups or whatever, that you're tuned, you sound good, you know, and you got it. Don't look at something like you got to get everything and get nothing and put nothing out there, right? And just taking a couple of minutes to make a daily payment, that's just a small little feather. Instead, put a $10 rock on that scale and see how much more power that has compared to the feather, right? Just 10. We got leverage working for us, so you don't have to put a 2 trillion ton boulder or mountain on the scale. You know what I'm saying? You got leverage working for you here. Okay. You know, but the difference between a feather and a 10-pound rock, huge difference on what the reward's going to be on that scale. Okay. So I'm hoping that many of you will capture the message today and understand that the only person holding you back is you. And you got to stop damning yourself. I'm just putting my preacher hat on today a little bit. You know, the only person damning you is you. Okay. You are doing it to you. Leslie is undamned. She is not damned at all. Okay. She's got
Well, I'll
flow.
be
She's got
damned.
passion. Right. And look at the early results. The early results are very favorable. And a month from now, when she's talking about a couple of these other 8 people that she had, that they're already now not needing the $100 return every day, then her cash flow is going to just move significantly. And certainly within the next 2 months, she should be at a $700 a day positive cash flow. That money that she can spend to take care of her family. So there you go. So we got Ken stepping up to the plate, Leslie. So let's have you and Ken have a little talk here about this.
Sure.
What are your thoughts, Ken?
Hey, great discussion, guys. Let me read a message I received from John Nabel. He's on our call tonight, and this will be directed to Leslie. Here's John's message. Are you hearing me okay, everybody?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
loud and clear.
Hi, Ken. I hope you're doing well. I would like to suggest a team meeting with our leaders in our group to discuss and brainstorm what type of recruiting is currently working for the successful people that have garnered referrals for their teams to help with those that are struggling. Are you open to this, and can you arrange it? So Leslie, as I say, John is on the call.
Mm-hmm.
Can you advise him, as you said that you're helping your team acquire referrals, and how exactly are you doing that?
Well, basically, I'm just there for support, and I pass along everything that I'm doing to them so that they can duplicate it. So I'm giving them a lot of guidance, sharing with them what works for me. And I love to create things. So when I have ideas of what would make a great email blast, or, if there's some information that needs to be written out really clear for them, I just do whatever I can to hand them all the information. So if they want to send out emails, or if they, I promote videos of Karen's, like send this at this time and do this and that. So, and I do a lot of follow-up. I reach out to all of them, and I'm there to help them. I'll take any calls they want me to take. If they want me to talk to someone for them, I will. I have no problem. So, that's, I don't know if that helped.
Has every person that you've sent an invitation out to, Leslie, said, yes, sign me up? Has that happened to you?
Absolutely not.
Oh, really? Okay. So people say no to you all the time then.
Well, you know what? They don't even say, this is so different than anything I've done before. So many of the things I've done in the past, I do the same work. I'm the same person, but I haven't felt as good about anything in the past as I do about pool funding. I really feel that way. There's always been something that's not quite right with whatever I'm in, but I try to push through it anyway, because I want to try to believe in it. So maybe it's something to do with the founder or the creator, or maybe the program itself has some faults, or maybe I think there's something a little bit fishy, or maybe I don't believe that it's exactly what we're offering to be true. But with this, I feel differently. And when I believe in something wholeheartedly, I have no problem talking about it. So I'm not pushy in any way. I'm just talking about it. I'm just sharing my experience. And
why do you believe in pool funding? Can we break it down the elements? Because I think the question Ken's asking, what are you saying? So that would come down to what are you doing when you share your belief? You're saying this, and this. What are those beliefs about pool funding?
Okay, so I compare it to my last disaster.
Okay.
So I start out with you, actually, Ace, and I talk about how incredible you are. I've never ever before had a founder, creator of a program be so interactive, and literally on our level. They always put themselves way above, like on our level where we can reach out and have a chat with you one-on-one, meet with you, have so many Zoom calls, ask you questions, and then just your character and what you're all about. You know, it shines through. Your integrity, your honesty, your loyalty, your love, it all shines through. So I start there, and I literally would say what I'm saying to you right now to a new person. And then I talk about how the money, our money, is always in our own secure wallet. And it's never it doesn't leave it. So there's never that fear that someone's stealing our money, which I've had happen, by the way, many times. So there's that. And then I move on to, I mean, when have you ever been paid 100% of the profits of something that you're selling when you're part of something? Never. I had my own business and I still only made 50%. I had to buy everything wholesale before I sold it. So I could go on and on. So I just highlight the bonuses, the benefits. And of course, I love crypto. I've been in crypto for a long time. So the fact that, you know, you've created these coins and what you're doing with them, creating the demand and limited supply and everything that you're doing. So there's just pluses galore, on and on and on.
All right, Ken raised his hand again.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, John, you're with us here. I'm wondering if you might have any questions for Leslie since we have her. If you could unmute, if you have any questions for Leslie, maybe that'll help everyone else.
Yeah, thanks, Ken, and thank you, Leslie, for sharing. Much appreciated, and thank you, Ace. Great stuff, and I kind of joined the call real quick. Kind of tired, but Leslie really woke me up.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's
waking up the damned.
Yeah.
Joke.
So I am excited. We have a small team, so I'm trying to, and I've asked my sponsor, you know, how can we use this, right? So it is very interesting. I still don't quite understand everything, how it works. We can get some more nuts and bolts. I guess my question to Ken was to get with the leaders or people that are successful, that have successfully recruited referrals like you. You have 8, which is awesome, right? A lot of people struggle to get, including me, of course, referrals. I particularly don't have a warm market, so I'm trying to figure out how to address a cold market and bring people in, whether it's social media, talking to people, trying to build an email list. There's not really I mean, you can go to YouTube University, right? But there's really not a roadmap for this group from the successful leaders. And I would love if, you know, the people like you that are successful, how did you get these 8 people? How did you get your first person?
So
you know, that sort of thing.
So I have a large database. I'm not going to lie, from past things I've done. So I do have a lot of people that have the same mindset, that are in the right place. Now, these people have been burned, so it's not like it's easy, but I at least have people I can reach out to and talk to. So I do understand what you're saying, because I've been where you are before. But I also find that when you open yourself up, they come to you. I'm like, that's why I used the example of the girl at the Christmas market, because she was never part of my database. That was just somebody I bumped into. Another idea someone in another team told me is to have a card, like a business card, but don't make it like a business card. Have it put some testimonials on it with pictures of people that say the testimonials about what pool funding is all about. So make it different, and then just have a simple contact to reach out to you, and maybe a link to a video, just a few key factors on a simple little card that you can hand out to people. Because another thing is, we were just eating out at a restaurant, and the waiter, I don't know how this happens to me, but the waiter started making idle chit chat while he's talking to us about the specials of the day. And somehow crypto came up again. I don't know what it is, but my husband's very outgoing too. And he started talking about being retired, but my wife still, something about what I do, I don't know. And then he wanted to hear all about it. So I'm not chasing people, but that would have been a really great time to hand him a card and say, you know what, go here and do this and then get a hold of me. So there are some things like that, that if you just, I think if you just open yourself up to all the possibilities. Like Ace says, it starts within, like, don't, like, undam yourself, believe in yourself, know that you can do it, envision your future, manifest, all of that stuff. I do all of that, by the way, so I'm sure that helps.
Leslie, are you using the cards yourself?
No, I haven't even done it yet. I have a lot of ideas that I haven't even had to implement yet that I want to do as time goes on.
Gosh,
But-
you're making so much money, you don't really need the cards. Maybe for your downline, but not for you.
Yeah, well, and I love helping people. And John, I'm more than happy to talk with you, outside of this and show you what I have, drafted up for people to use. I'm more than happy to do that.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'd like to do that in a group fashion, Leslie, as I posted
Sure.
in our private Telegram group this morning. I'm hoping we can set up a meeting with our current leaders,
Yeah, absolutely.
several of which are on this call, like Karen and Steve and Paul Thompson and.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, excuse me, I'm no different than any of you, and I want everyone to be the same. So I think it's wonderful if we all work together.
A lot of the training I do with you guys, I would put it into what I call the basic training. Okay. But would you guys like to have some master training today? Above and beyond
what
Yes.
training?
basic master
Yes,
training.
absolutely.
Yes, very much
Okay.
so.
Go for it.
Because with John here raising the question of like, well, how are we going to go talk to people? I'm telling you, there's just people everywhere. So this is something I've done personally and been very successful with it. And the one thing you've got to overcome in order to do this master level is master yourself. You got to get with yourself and just be willing to overcome your own inhibitions. Okay. Because that's really, if you really and I go back to that question I keep saying, if you only knew what you are, you would never be inhibited, right? Because you'd be like, oh, you're going to be the full expression of what you are. But because you forgot what you are, you find yourself to be inhibited. But when you know, if you can do the following, you've graduated from not being inhibited, and you can then be trained at the master level. Okay. So here it is. I can walk up to anybody, so like when I'm doing this on purpose, I'll just put myself out there. It could be at the mall. It could be anywhere. It could be on the sidewalk. It could just be anywhere. Okay. Around people. And then what I'm looking for is someone that's not so busy that they're too busy to talk to me. So I'm looking for someone that is approachable, right? So I identify somebody, and I'll walk right up to them. And then I ask them this question: what time is it? Have you guys ever asked that question before? Have you guys ever walked up to someone or walked past someone and say, hey, by the way, what time is it? You ever done that?
30 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Before we had cell phones.
Yeah. And but it still works, because the natural reaction that someone's going to do when you ask them what time, what is the natural reaction?
To tell you.
They're going to tell you what time it is, right? They're going to look and tell you, right? And this is where you get them. Okay. As soon as they tell you what time it is, you go, thank you. And then you pull your cell phone out of your pocket and you say, actually, I know what time it is. Okay. And now they're stunned. Okay. They're stunned. And it's I just wanted to have an excuse to come over here and talk to you for a moment. Okay. I'm keeping my eyes open. I got a business. I'm one of the co-founders, and we're growing. And something about you made me feel like the need to come over here and talk to you. Are you open to looking at stuff? Would you be open to some business? Would you be open to that? And if they say yes, get their phone number. If they say no, I got my own thing going on, and then wish them well. I wish you all the best and all that, and then walk away. Okay, that's masterclass stuff, right? This is past the point of that low self-confidence, right? This is a confident move. But believe me, when I was doing this, I was struggling at the time with self-confidence. Okay. I was walking up to people I didn't know, asking them what time is it, and then I would then turn it around as and invite them to take a look at an opportunity. I was doing this at the time that I could look in the mirror and go, "You're just gonna fake it till you make it," because you do not have that kind of confidence. I didn't at the time, but I overcame that lack of confidence by taking action like this, by being courageous, and it worked for me. Are you guys liking the master training so far or not?
Yes, it's great.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. I can give you more of it, but you guys don't show up like masters. You show up like basics. I've been doing basic training with you guys. Step it up, and I'll step it up. Fair enough? That reasonable?
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
there you go. Because as you guys step it up, I can step it up because I've been there where you're at. I know some of you guys look up to me, but at the end of the day, you got to know that the way I see you the same way I see me when I look in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, I might as well be looking at one of you because we're all the same. And a lot of you look up to me, but we're not that different. Okay? We're not that different. I'm not better than any of you. And I don't think really any of you are better than me. I think we have things to share with one another. And that's what we're here gathering together to do. And it's a good thing. And the universe loves it when we get together like this. Okay? Very rewarding. But realize that anything I can do, you can do. Anything Leslie does, you can do. Right, Leslie?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm just going to say something, Ace, because I think that's fantastic what you just said, but that would never work for me, only because I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm actually shy, and I
So am
wouldn't be
I.
able to do, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
But what I find is I've just become confident. I believe in I believe in pool funding, and I believe in myself. And with that confidence,
You're not letting the missed opportunities pass you by. You don't miss opportunities.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't,
when they swing in, you grab it, you know?
yeah. So I find when it happens naturally, then I'm myself and I can be just totally natural. I can't start a conversation knowing I'm trying to do something. I don't know. I just wouldn't be able to do that.
I totally
But
get it. I totally get it. And
if somebody's, yeah,
Mike,
so if
I
I'm
was there too.
interacting with someone, I can totally start, but I have to already be interacting with them,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm sure
I had to do these things like an exercise. You go to the gym to work out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have any free weights sitting next to me, next to the chair here to lift. So I'd go to the gym if I want to do some, so it's an exercise. And I, I haven't done it in years, but
Yeah.
I haven't needed to because I don't miss opportunities anymore.
Right.
But before I was missing them
Yeah.
left and right. And it would be pointed
Yeah.
out to me. You're okay. Tell me about your day yesterday. Dot, dot, dot. And as I went through my day, my mentor would say, well, you missed an opportunity there. 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 You're the one that's the idiot. Okay. So change that part of you.
Yeah.
Stop missing out on opportunities. Here's an exercise. Go do this.
Yeah. I must say, I find on a daily basis now, because I must be really open to it. It's endless how often it comes up in conversation. Everywhere I go, anytime you're interacting in a store or I don't know, anything you do.
Yep. First comes the passion, then comes the opportunity. Okay. You got to put the passion out, right? It's got to come from your heart. You got to be like, damn it, I want to grow. I want to express myself. I want to give. I want to share, right? And if that's where you're coming from, you're not coming from the opposite. The opposite is I want to keep, I want to grab, I want to take, I want to be the victim in the story. I want people to feel sorry for me. I want people to look down upon me and pity me, and throwing your own pity party, right? That's the opposite of what we're talking about here, right? So what do you want? You want a pity party, or do you want to be thriving, successful, engaged with life passionately? What do you want? Right? You got to be what you want, right? And believe me, I am way more introverted than most introverts. And people are surprised when they hear me say that. But through the ability to be very introspective, more than an average person, I've been able to then analyze what an extrovert does to the point where I can actually mimic and copy what I see extroverts do. Not because it was natural to me, but because I just identified it and I just started practicing being an extrovert. I had to practice a lot because it was very awkward. I was a super awkward kind of guy. Okay, super awkward. So I started out super shy. But I was willing to exercise. I was willing to go out there and try. And eventually, now it feels more natural, even though engaging people, talking to people, it does have kind of a drain on me. It kind of sucks the energy out of me. Anytime I'm around people, my energy goes down and down and down. You know what I'm saying? And I need plenty of time alone to recharge my energy back up. And that's how you know if you're an introvert, is where's your energy going? So if you find other people make your energy come down, you're an introvert. If being around other people, your energy goes up, you're an extrovert, right? And you got some of the stuff more natural, and it's just natural to you to talk to people. But if you're, if you know what I'm talking about, being shy, being hesitant, being overthinking what am I going to say? Guys, I had all of those problems. Anything you guys are dealing with, I've probably been through it like many times over. And I found a way to get past myself because once you realize this is your universe and you're the one in charge of your universe, just like I'm in charge of my universe. And technically they are separate, right? And they are different universes, right? They're not exactly the same universe. When you realize that the fruit that you are able to enjoy in your universe is a result of what you're putting into it, then you want to put more in because there's unlimited resources there. If you dig in, it's unlimited. Okay, it's abundant. And it's only the wool is the world that's pulled the wool over your eyes to convince you that you're so small. Okay, it's a game. It's a trick. You've been tricked into thinking you're small and that you don't deserve anything. Those are all tricks. That's not true. Okay, get to the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is you're great, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, you're amazing, and that goes for each one of you. And the last person you want to put down is yourself. Never put yourself down, right? And if you have a tendency to do that, you need to think about why do you do that? Overcome that because it's not how it's supposed to be. And you'll be in a better position to help other people if you're treating yourself well, thinking of yourself well. And that's where the passion is born. The birth of the passion comes from believing in yourself. And building that belief will increase that passion and you'll want to express it. Okay. And pool funding becomes a channel of expression. Okay. So that's the higher way of looking at all of this. And I'd love to do more master training with you guys. But hey, guys, another exercise I used to do, what's the most common thing when you go into a retail store? You're going to have someone walk up to you, and what are they going to ask you? When someone at a retail store walks up to you, what are they going to ask you?
How can I help you?
Exactly. And we call those people salespeople, right? They get paid to walk up to people, don't they? Right? So how would you guys like to have a team full of salespeople? Right? Well, any retail place is full of those kind of people. So you can instead of saying no, I'm just browsing, right? You could say, perhaps you can, I'm not sure what I'm going to do today, but maybe you can, tell me between this and that. Just make a conversation about their store. Identify something. You compliment the store. For whatever. Like explain why you're in the store. You came in the store. But you don't have to buy anything. You can just have a conversation with that person. And then a little trick I would do is I would say, I appreciate your help today, and then start to walk away. And then I'd stop, and then I'd pivot, and I'd turn back to them and say, oh, by the way, And then I walk up to them a little bit. Can I ask you a question? And they go, sure. What is that? Do you keep your doors open for opportunity? Because I like the way you helped me today, and I got a business. And if you're open to that, I'd like to get your phone number, and I can follow up with you and tell you more about an opportunity that I could share with you. Would you be open
That's
to
a
that?
good one.
Okay.
Hey, Ace.
You like that one? Masterclass stuff. Okay. Go ahead, David.
So I was wondering in a lot of ways it seems like asking for the phone number is a bit direct, that it might be better just to ask for contact information. If they give you phone and Facebook or email or whatever, then great. But sometimes people, I should say often, it seems as though people feel confronted or whatever when you ask directly for their phone number versus just contact information.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on each person how they look at it. I mean, I haven't done these exercises in a while, so I'm referring back to my past. So part of it's that the world has changed a little bit, you know. Just because you get a phone number doesn't mean they're going to answer it, right? So, but sometimes, you know, when maybe today, instead of just getting their phone number, you say, hey, can you send me a text message so we're connected by text? You know, so I can, you know, follow up with you about the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. The world has changed. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank Leslie and Ken. We'll squeeze you in here. You popped your hand up real quick. You're about to close. Go ahead, Ken.
Getting back to the suggestion you just made, and also getting back to the idea of a simple business card that Leslie and I were discussing, don't you think it would be easier, instead of asking somebody for a phone number or any contact information, are you open for an opportunity if they respond affirmatively? Wouldn't it be nice to hand them a business card with perhaps the link to one of Karen's videos and also your name and phone numbers so they can get back to you after they review a video?
Well, I guess that depends on, you know, how busy you are, because if you're so busy that you'd only want to talk to really interested people, yes. But I find that that's such a passive approach that for every business card you hand out or flyer or blah, blah, I mean, you're talking about the king of flyers here, man. I put more flyers on cars than all of you put together. I guarantee it. Have any of you put flyers on cars? You know,
Sure.
you getting
Oh,
people
yeah.
to call
I
you.
have.
You ever done it? Okay.
Yep.
I'm well into the tens and tens of thousands. But, you know, I might have crossed over 100,000 flyers on cars. I've done it in California, you know. So, but yeah, you know, for everything you do like that, you're giving them a way to follow up with you, but you have no means of following up with them. I call that passive. Okay. And so, yeah.
Definitely not a fan of that. I totally agree with you, Mr. Ace.
So I find being more assertive is better than passive. You'll have better results because, again, as long as it comes from passion, you're going to do well, right? And you can tell the way that you talk. Okay, one of the books I read, let me think for a second. Which one was it? Yeah, it was either The Magic of Thinking Big or it was The Power of Positive Thinking. But it was one of those two. But in that book, it says walk 25% faster than you normally do and talk 25% louder than you normally do. Okay. All right. When I do these calls with you, I'm talking probably a little bit over 25% of my normal voice because, you know, my normal voice sounds like I'm mumbling, you know, when I talk normally. Okay. You wouldn't be able to follow me very well if I just talked to you in my normal voice. Right. So see, you hear the difference? So again, if you just learn to project yourself out there to a point where people you catch them, you catch people, and that's it. And you know, the reason I do basic training most of the time because the master training can be a little scary. So that's why I'm trying not to. I don't want to scare people that show up to a meeting away by having them choke on meat when they're only prepared to receive milk. You know, but I'm putting a little bit in today Because what Leslie is showing here is a higher strategy, the $111 strategy. And it ain't gonna work unless you are working properly. Because if you try to do this, and you aren't really to, do the whole thing, and that means coordination. If you try to do this in any way that's uncoordinated, it will burn. In you'll literally be burning up $100 bills. Okay, right, Leslie?
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I didn't talk about is you showed me this, Ace, but I go on as soon as I make the paybacks, I go on to the BSC scan. I'd have to show you, but I go in and I copy the link of what I just did. And again, I'm using Wire, it's so handy. And I go into each person's individual DMing them. And I say that I put the amount, USDT, the date, because I do it every day. I want to keep track of it. And that it was sent back to them. And I paste the transaction hash. And I do that after every single one. And I also have a calendar that I tick their name off, believe it or not, because I don't want to miss anyone and I don't want to get confused.
These nuances that she's talking about now are very important, right? So it's not, you can't employ the $100 thing here. It's a $100 thing. You can't be sloppy. You can't be
No.
sloppy with $100 bills. Okay, guys? I think that we all kind of know that. But at the same token, this is an offer that you can do is if you got someone that's willing to commit to paying you $11 every day, you could always turn that around and say, hey, why don't you send me $111 today and I'll send you back the $100 so that tomorrow you can send me $111 again and I'll just send back $100. So on the surface, easy. But when you get into actually employing this, agreements have to be clear, that we're going to do this until. We really don't want to wait 90 days. Okay, this should be until. And if a person's not actively going out there building their team, if they're really approaching this very passively, this probably ain't the strategy for them. Okay, this ain't for the passive folks. This strategy we're talking about today is for the passionate. And if the passion is there, offer them this. And then maybe you can have a whole team of passionate people. That'd be great. But be careful because the person that drops the ball should be the one that loses the $100 in this situation, right? Just because someone shares an idea, they're not responsible for you dropping the ball and burning $100 out, right? So, people miss their payment, right, Leslie? It happens. But
Yeah, thankfully it's only happened, I think, once. Everybody is super amazing that honestly, we are a well-oiled machine.
So exactly, but that took time to talk. You talked it through, you coordinated. It was clearly explained that anybody in a chain, if they break the chain by missing a payment or they forgot to make their payment on a particular day, it kind of messes things up, and they need to come up with the $100 and compensate for the loss that was there. Someone lost $100. Make sure whoever lost $100 gets paid. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's coming out of your pocket. But so these are things that if you do it right with the right intention, right? From this can accelerate wealth creation on the one hand and cash flow on the other hand, above and beyond the simpler version of the $111 strategy, and just ultimately build up to the point where you've got enough referrals to support you making a $100 payment every day, and then just start making a $100 payment without any coordination needed. As soon as you're able to do it, you just start doing it, right? That's the $111 strategy. Okay, this is above that. This is like pushing the accelerator on that whole thing, and taking a whole team to move further, faster, and maybe create more excitement on that team than otherwise would be there doing it just the regular way. Okay, but most people can do $11 every day, and most people in the U.S., especially or North America, they can do $11 every day, and that's okay. Just they do that until they got one other person that can do it, and it's not out of their pocket anymore. No problem. But if there's stagnation, right? You shouldn't be going outside yourself asking the world why you're stagnant. on growth. Always go back to the guy who's responsible. That's you, yourself, and I. It's the me, right? Right? You don't push the responsibility out here when it's actually always been here. Okay. When you recognize the responsible party, you can get past the whole damning thing I've been talking about. I'm telling you guys, I know where you're at, and I know what's going on in your heads. And I don't mention it very often because I think it's kind of offensive to tell someone they're damned, but it's the truth, But when you realize that if you just take responsibility for yourself, and if there's a lack of growth or whatever, if there's a lack of anything, go to the responsible party, and you got to go to that yourself, and realize that you don't have to wait for anyone or anything. It's you. Leslie's not waiting, right? Leslie's doing, right? So you have an example here, and we'll bring more examples up as they start to show their colors here. We'll bring more examples here to show you that example by example by example, it's the ones doing that are winning, right? The ones waiting are the ones losing, right? So don't wait, and start small, right? Just make a goal to talk to somebody as soon as possible within the next couple of days, right? That's a start, and then go from there. And eventually it becomes a daily practice. You're talking to people about pool funding all the time. And as soon as you have a teammate, make sure you're really supportive. The more supportive you are, the faster your passion will grow. Okay? Your passion will grow through support. So lots of good stuff today. We went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that's my fault, not anybody else's fault. But I do want to thank all of you that did show up here today and were part of this very special training. This is a good one today. We'll call this one Currency, right? So you can refer back to it later. The name of this training is Currency, right? And I want all
and
of
make
you,
a river flowing of paper dollars in your visual.
I don't know. I'll just grab whatever I can grab, but we'll see what I can do here. But Currency, guys, this is it. I want all of you to experience a great deal of currency in your life, right? In every category, not just money alone. I hope you got currency of love, currency of life force, health, and also money. I want all of you to have it all, because certainly you deserve it. If you only knew what you are, you don't realize how much you deserve it. You are all heroes, and you're all on a journey today. So welcome to another day in the life on earth. And I hope I've inspired you to, come out here with a little more passion and enjoy the rewards that come from that. And thank you for all that interjected, like Ken and others that have, helped keep this conversation interesting today. That Leslie and I could play off of what you guys were saying. All of you are awesome.
Thank you, Leslie.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks, guys. I'm happy
Thank you.
to do whatever I can.
All right, today, since I did some master training today, we're going to do something a little different on the close, okay? I want all of you, when I say go, I want all of you to say, I am the master of my universe, okay?
I am the master.
I am the master of my universe.
All right, I am the master of my universe.
I am the master of my universe.
I am the master of my universe.
I'm the master of my universe.
Get her done. That's right.